open the planning board meeting for the Leominster Planning Board for July 15th, 2019, 6:30.
You can do
First,
6:30.
continue public hearing, definitive subdivision approval for Meadowlands at Willard Street, along northerly side of Willard Street, including 671 Willard Street. Okay. We have, you said you have a letter? Okay. Dear Elizabeth, I just heard from Carol it's not being late this evening. As such, we would like to request the meeting be continued to the meeting in August. If you could let me know the date of that meeting, we will be there to review the project with the applicant. Also, on behalf of Crown Eagle LLC, we would like to grant the board the extension for final action to August 30th. Sincerely, Bill. So that's a request for them to read. They submitted to us, which I want to get into the record so that they can act on it. We got this document. Okay, for the declaration. There are a number of notes on here. Number one is, these are declaration of covenants and restrictions and easements, and that's fine. They need bylaws. There are no bylaws in here, and what they call the Constitution and bylaws, or bylaws and Constitution. You have to set up the trust. So basically, you have to set up the trust, who qualifies the trust, who's on the trust, the chairman or president, they have to be a treasurer, they have to have a budget, they have to have a set what their fees are going to be, how they're going to set up their fees, not only who's going to be in office, but who's going to be removed, how you remove a person from office, what their terms of the office are. Okay? So that's all the first part. Before you can have this, you have to have an organization. So they also have to set up an organization, whatever they call it, if they call it Meadowlands Gardens or whatever it is, but it's got to be set up and as a not-for-profit organization. So that paperwork is all missing or not done when they didn't do it, okay? As far as this is concerned, I just want to open this up and go. There's a couple of points, and I made notes as I went through it, so I did read it. I fell asleep 3 times, but it's a boilerplate. On page 7, it says, the second paragraph, it is contemplated upon completion, the roadway shall be deeded and accepted by the city upon acceptance responsibility road. This is not, if you're going to have a private facility, the city is not going to take over the streets. The streets are their responsibility. So that's probably going to be voted no, or it should be voted no. Okay, in that Article 2 in the second paragraph. Okay?
Page 7.
Page 7, yeah. In other words, you just can't, you can't have a private way and then also have say, oh, the city's going to own the roads. No. It's their trash, they have to have their own trash collection, they've got to do their own plowing, they've got to do the whole package. No, it's a private way. They say they want a deeded private way, so then the city doesn't plow, just like Pennacook or some of the other condo areas. They don't plow in there. They have their own responsibility. On page 12, section 3.10, public easement. Okay, again, the same thing upon the city acceptance of the roadways. That shouldn't happen. Section 4.1, withdrawal. During the development control, the declarant has the unilateral right, without approval of the trust of the owners of the to sign and record a note withdrawn to the submitted. But again, this is all tied into the roadways. And that's going to be corrected or changed. Same thing with 5.2 on page 13. Okay, again, they say the trustees can declare without other people, but it's all to do with moving roads in, but right now that's nothing. On 14, okay, on 5.3, successes, and they talk about the bylaws of the city. Towns have bylaws. We have ordinances and subdivision regulations. So they have to reference our ordinances and subdivision regulations. Okay? I don't know. Section on 17, section 6.3, lots owned by the declarant and builder shall have never been occupied, shall not be subject to assessments or common expenses. In most organizations, once you turn over your property, you turn over all the property to the trustees. They have ownership. If they don't, say the builder doesn't transfer the land, he has same responsibilities as homeowners. Okay, so that's something that would stay. So if there's 3 lots that are built on and they put an assessment on the other 20 lots or 21 lots, there would also be an assessment on those 3 lots. And the original owner would also be responsible for those. Those are things that could be voted on, but that's typical stuff. Again, they talk about, on 18, they talk about the trust, upkeep by the trust, while you get determined and future owned by the city. Again, that's got to be determined first. Okay, so that it's not, it shouldn't be in here. On 19, again, they talk about the rules and regulations on about the 7th line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rules are subject to any agreement reached by the city upon acceptance of the roadway. Again, they're referring back to that acceptance of the roadway. When you get down to the sewer system, they did, from the point of connection to the gravity, the trust will be responsible. It should be defined. Is it Willard Street? Is it a location on Willard Street? Is it a location within the facility? Okay, and that should be defined, not just at the terminus of the sewer. On 20, it says here the trust may provide trash collection, water, cable. These all have to be, you can't say may, you gotta do they or don't they? Okay? And initially they're only gonna mow the lawn, do snow removal. So they do talk about snow removal, but only on the driveways. It has to be complete. So that's sort of left open, and that has to be defined better. Upkeep by owners. And this one I just had a lot of questions on. I just got a question mark. And it gets into design guidelines and shall repair and maintain. That should be a separate document, okay, separate under the trustees or their architectural review committee.
What page and what section?
That's page 20, section 7.2. 21. I don't know.
Not a regular subdivision.
Well,
It's not condos.
I have a theory.
I've never seen this.
Homeowners Association
On the subdivision.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't have anybody here to ask.
They don't. They can't answer, but I just find they gave us this document. It's been issued into the system, so if they're looking for a determination at our next meeting, these answers have to be answered.
Do you have no idea why they want to go this route? Why not have the city fix it?
I have a theory, but I can't, my theory is that they want a bunch of waivers.
Yeah.
And they're saying, oh, it's gonna be a private, so we want the waivers, they'll give us the waivers, and then...
Necessarily.
That's a theory of mine, that's not, but they haven't said
I
that.
think it sounds like a cluster in the lot.
Oh, I agree, but, that's why, if they can get we have concerns, they come up with things, and it's not just, it's just not that easy. Liability, that needs to be clarified. On 7.5, paragraph starting in other person, and it talks about leaks and flows and pipes and where they're located. And that should be really responsibility of the trust. Again, on 8.1, where it says bylaws, it's city ordinances and subdivision regulations. I think that was all. No. I got a question on 24, they got R, they got signs. And this I don't know about. They talk about, except for signs that may be posted by the declarant for promotional marketing, no signs of any character. I don't think they can stop political signs. I think that's freedom of speech.
No, they can, on a private development.
I don't know, but I don't know if they can or not. I just got it as a question. Oh, you did? Okay, fine. I didn't know. Huh? Yeah, I would say, well, yeah, they get too many, but I just didn't know on that one. Okay, fine.
Because you can't put for sale signs in front either.
Have we ever had an HOA?
No, not that I know of. That's all I had.
What's the present?
Okay.
Well, I think their purpose is to try to get away from them around the waivers.
Do you want me to relay all of that to them? So
If you could.
Do we know?
This is marked up.
Requested waivers?
Okay, you can have my marked up.
No way. Well, they came in. They're not here. 2 months ago.
They did here.
No, I know. So what they have at the time? Well, except for the entrance or two.
I don't know.
So what time in August are we scheduling?
Okay, so we gotta reschedule that now.
Cranberry Avenue Extension at 6:30, so on the 19th.
So
So
it's
this-
rescheduled.
So that, this will be continued for August what?
19th.
19.
Coming back.
At 6:30.
No,
No, 6:35.
6:35.
6:30? 6:35. 6:35? Fred. Motion by Fred, seconded by
Sal.
Paul. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Okay, open public meeting for site plan approval of 280 Lancaster Road.
Did you open that to the audience?
Oh,
Well, can you? No.
I can open up 6:45. I got another minute.
You got
5, 6, 46.
Well, we do.
Do call roll call.
I did.
No, you did.
Yeah, I did. I said continue public, open
Actually,
public.
nobody was in here, so.
Yeah, that was open, and that's continued, yeah.
You didn't ask the public if they want to comment, is what they're saying. You need to do that.
But there was no vote.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, now, but they weren't in there.
no. Okay, I got 6:45 now. Open public meeting for site plan approval for 280 New Lancaster Road, map 300, lot 1. And open public hearing at 6:46. Yeah, it's close enough. Public hearing for a special permit approval for 280 Lancaster Road, map 300, lot 1 for the used car wash. I've got this, and I've got a question. Well, let me make that presentation, and then we'll ask some questions. Okay? Do you have a presentation to make?
Good evening. For the record, Hussein Savinski with Greenman Peterson, formerly MHF Design Consultants. You're probably familiar with the site. It's the existing mobile gas station, convenience store, McDonald's, and commercial diesel with parking in the back site. Permitted back in 2013 by our office with this board. At the time, the gas station, convenience store, car wash was permitted at that time. McDonald's was permitted, and pretty much everything on site was permitted. The car wash was never built, so they'd like to come back now and build the car wash. in the area that was proposed previously. So this is just an aerial showing, the site. We did submit site plans. We went out there, we surveyed the area that we're looking to put the car wash. So the car wash would be, again, a single bay car wash, which is what was proposed back then. Single bay tunnel wash, you pull into the drive-through, the car wash lane, and pull your car out the other end, standard car wash. There are 3 lanes on the right side of the building. One is devoted to the drive-through lane, one is a bypass lane, and one will be devoted to the car wash. So we would paint the words car wash on the ground.
Arrow into the car wash.
Arrow car wash. So again, it's not a huge huge development, but it is part of a larger development. Sidewalks around the perimeter. We would rebuild any sidewalks that are disturbed as part of the construction of the car wash. There are some existing trees in this area that were planted back when this site was built. We're looking to relocate this tree in this area because that would be right in front of the windows for the car wash, and this tree would remain. So there's one tree that's being relocated. We're asking, I believe, for a waiver on that. The waiver we're asking for the landscaping is we needed a landscape plan stamped by a landscape architect. There's not much modifications that we're doing to this site.
2 trees.
Just relocating one tree, and maybe a few. We're planting some daylilies in areas that were previously proposed with daylilies. So we felt that we didn't need to get a landscape architect involved in that. So we're asking for a waiver on that. We're also asking for a waiver on the traffic study. Back in 2013, I don't know if any of you were on the board back then, but
We all were.
we did a huge traffic study. We had to go through the MEPA process, Mass DOT. I don't know if you recall, initially we were proposing a driveway here. They denied that back then. We have a driveway out here and a driveway, full signalized driveway. So all that traffic was looked at back then, and we did submit those reports back then. So we're looking for, a waiver on having a traffic study conducted, and I guess peer reviewed. So we would like that. Again, the use is the car wash. It's ancillary to the gas station. It's not like a car wash with 3 bays where everybody could come in and wash. So
Just, see where you have that semi parked on the side?
Yeah.
Now you have the 3 lanes to the left of that, correct? So is there a curb cut? I mean, is there a
No.
curb there
That's one of the-
separates?
So there is so where this truck is, there's a landscaped island. It's about 10 feet wide.
Yep.
Where's that truck like?
So that truck would have been right here.
Yep.
So there are 3 lanes. Currently, there's vehicles parking here because there is no car wash use. So we went out there this afternoon. There were 3 vehicles parked here. Those are not customers, but employees. There was a vehicle or 2 parked here. So there are ample spaces back here for them to park. So we counted the vehicles, we counted the empty spaces.
And you
So,
still meet the required parking?
Do you meet the required parking for the convenience store?
Yeah, so back then, we're not changing the parking requirements, we're not reducing any parking. So the cars parked here are just parking there because it's convenient. There's no.
No, it's marked as
They're
parking.
not really using any.
It's not marked as a parking, it was just striped as one single white line for the car wash use.
And, but, I've seen semis stacked there as well. So
On the
how
main
do we-
driveway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but how do we, can we create some kind of curb there that makes it more difficult? Because otherwise they can encroach on your 3rd lane or your
Well,
landscape island.
they wouldn't be able to encroach on, so the semis that you're referring to are on the main driveway.
Correct.
So there is a landscape strip about 10 feet wide, so
Yeah.
the panels, you can count
Yeah.
it. 10 feet wide, landscape strip, there's some, plantings along that landscape strip. So the truck would not be able to get in here and park in this area. Again, the aerial correctly depicts what's going on right now. So there's 3 vehicles on this aerial, there were 3 vehicles out there this afternoon.
And I want to make sure they're striped, all the way through. I mean, those lanes have to be marked really well
For the car wash.
for the car wash
So,
and the drive-through.
At this entrance, there is, it's faded, but there's 2 arrows. One says drive-through on the ground. The very right lane would be car wash. And then the center lane is a bypass lane.
But we should get those all redone.
Yep, so as
Yeah.
part of the plans,
What is the width? I was trying to look at the map, the drawings, and I couldn't find the dimension for that, the building and the three. And whether I was looking in the wrong place or not, I'm not sure. But what is the actual width of the 3 lane?
I'll scale that for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'll scale that for you. So as part of it, we're proposing, the word car wash. This would be the designated car wash lane, which was designed for back in
And you're gonna
2013.
repaint the drive-through?
We could repaint the
Yeah, you're
paint
gonna have
lines,
to,
refresh the paint lines that are out there. We can make that part of this.
That's what I'm saying too.
So down there, we would, refresh the paint, if that's part of the approval. We put an arrow here. Your question about the lane widths,
Yeah. You gotta have those lanes marked, or it's gonna be that's bad.
Signed on the meeting.
Yeah, I couldn't find it on the drawing, so.
I didn't
I could
call
scale
them
it,
out.
right?
I didn't call them out because they're existing lanes. They're 10-foot lanes.
10 foot wide.
10-foot
10
wide
foot.
lanes.
30 from
So
the
3
building.
10-foot wide lanes. Again, the vehicles are parking here. This is a bypass, and this is for the drive-through. With this development, those employees are not going to park there. They're going to know the car wash is there. Customers aren't coming back here to park and going to the store. It's not convenient for them. They all park in front of the building or at the dispensaries.
Has it altered the snow storage at all? Because we were using some of that as snow storage previously, right?
Again, it was approved previously. There is area here, so by relocating this tree, we are providing snow storage here. There is ample space on the rest of the property. Again, it was proposed and approved with the snow storage. There is a 5% calc for
Right.
snow storage, so I don't know where to stop that calculation.
Well, I'm
Because
just
there's ample
wondering
green
if
space.
you're taking snow storage away from directly in back by putting the car wash there, you have to have it somewhere else. And as long as the site accommodates that, it should be marked on the plan as well.
There's plenty of storage, so in the aerial,
There is, I know
there's plenty of room back here. Again, there's storage, snow storage space in front of the car wash in this area. Obviously, the car wash building where they were storing, they can't.
Right.
So it would hamper their business if there was snow there. So they would have to remove that and put it elsewhere on site.
We just want to make sure that the snow storage is marked on the plan. What about changes? Any changes between the one we approved and this particular one that you're coming back with now?
So the car wash is slightly larger than what was approved back then. But again, it's just the equipment. So the equipment, I think previously it was a laser wash. This is a tunnel wash. You need a little bit more room for.
So it's wider and longer?
It's wider. I have the approved site plan. I can scale that up.
Yeah, I wanted to see what the differences were.
1536. So yeah, it was approved at 1536.
Yep.
24 by 64. This one is 60, so it's 60 by 30, so it's deeper.
It's twice as wide.
No, it's 60, so it's 64 was approved, it's 60, so it's 4 feet.
64 length.
Yeah, 64 length, the width was 24, now it's 30.
So
So 6 feet wider.
Yeah, 6 feet wide.
Okay. What about the queuing in traffic? You got enough there? One thing I observed was that the guy was having in front of me, he wanted to get into the lane to get in, for Dunkin' Donuts. And there was, the traffic trying to get out. He was stopped to try to get in at the lights. And then that backed. Because he was stopped to try to get in, other people were trying to, there was a backup there, there were about 5 cars.
At the driveway or at?
Right at the driveway where the intersection is, right there. No, come up, look, right there.
Okay.
So they were trying to make that left turn
Coming into the gas.
station, okay? But there was a semi and several other cars that had filled that whole lane all the way to the road.
Somebody won't be there.
Well, I mean,
No,
but
but
that-
they do that all the time.
It happens
Actually,
all
he's
the
right,
time.
because McDonald's overflow from their window comes right out there as well. So you could literally sit there for 3 or 4 light cycles, because everybody jams everybody up. People are taking a left into the store, whether it's the store of the gas pumps, or a semi's coming out, or McDonald's coming out, it's all at the same point. So one person goes to take the left, they block everything, which is what John's talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly. I've
So you
seen
come
it.
in, you know, and the guy, and I was behind him, and I said, okay, you know, this is a good thing. So I don't know how we can relieve that, if there's any way of doing that.
Do you think the traffic coming out?
The traffic coming out
is,
was blocking up that traffic there. Now,
Take
so
a
this
left.
semi was right
Well,
here.
not that.
well, not, but a similar semi.
Or the
Yeah.
traffic coming out of McDonald's.
So you could put, so to line up here, you could put a stop sign.
Well, then you might have to do something like that. Please, you know, stop
And
sign,
the
do
bar.
not
You get some
block
real knuckleheads
intersection.
there.
Don't block the box, like.
Yeah,
Don't block the intersection.
because it's, yeah,
Some
don't,
signage and something that's gonna alleviate that, because they do it coming out of McDonald's. I'm telling you, he's right, I've seen it, you know, 10, 20 times.
Besides a sign like that, don't allow parking like that truck is parked.
So on the main.
Yeah, yeah, you got so much parking back there.
So that's something we discussed, we could put no parking signs at the board.
yeah, I see semis there all the time.
I mean, I don't know how many more cars are gonna be added to this site.
I know,
That's in the car wash.
Yeah,
It's an
it's-
ancillary.
People
No,
calls going,
it-
hey, you got a car wash.
that's right.
People are gonna be getting gas, hey, you got a car wash.
Well, but at the same time, if it's one more, or just, like I said, the day I was there, I was the second, there was 2 or 3 cars behind me, and that last car was out onto the road. Okay? And that was backed up.
There's always somebody that's gonna block.
There's always an instance where you'll have that, but
Yeah.
again, we were out there from 6 to 6:30.
Yeah,
You know, it was moving.
Now, the question I have, those
Oh, yeah.
employees who are parking on that side, where are they
Yeah.
gonna park them?
They would park back here.
Okay.
Would there be signage there, employee parking only?
Again, I think it's employees parking there anyways, there's really no way to park there and get, you know,
yeah.
it's not convenient for
No
anyone.
car wash there, you're not gonna have employees parking.
In the back here, there's 8 or 9.
Yeah, there's a bunch of spots.
Okay, I think that was my biggest concern, was that the blockage of that intersection.
But you get the same thing over on the Home Depot side too. If you get the cars taking the left, nobody can get into the 2 right lanes.
Right.
Because you get somebody that just turns and blocks.
Yeah.
That was their thing too. We weren't smart enough to catch that one. But it's the same on both sides of that intersection.
Okay. I'll open up the audience. Do I have somebody, audience, that have any questions? Okay, I thought I saw your hand up there, so I'll ask the second time. Anyone else in the audience have any questions? Any other questions from the board? Okay.
So,
Okay, I get to, the motion is in order to close the hearing then. We're gonna close each individually. The 6:45 open public meeting site plan approval. The motion is in order to close.
Yeah,
Motion made and seconded to close 6:45. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Yes.
On 6:46, public hearing, special permit approval, 280 Lancaster Road, map 300, lot 1 for the used car wash. Moved by Tom to close the hearing, seconded by Tom, Freddie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Oh, 7 o'clock. Okay,
we'll be voting on this after.
Yeah.
Later, is that?
Yeah. we vote on it, we go into a regular meeting, it won't be long, and then
It's
we'll
gonna be
move on.
quick.
Another 5 minutes.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, 7 o'clock, continued open public meeting for site plan approval for 449 Wachusett Street.
And you can do the 701.
Okay, and I can do 701. Open and continue public hearing for special permit approval for 449 Wachusett Street for the use. And 702 for continued public hearing for special permit approval for 449 Wachusett Street for water supply protected district. Okay?
This one.
Right.
Okay, good. We have a presentation. I open the hearing. Okay. Oh, that's right, when you're 5.
Yeah, here,
And you weren't here.
That's right.
that's right. So Carol,
We do have a little issue.
we do.
We have an issue. We need another member to vote on this tonight, and we're gonna call at 6 o'clock that Carol was, she didn't say where she was.
She was
She found the
traveling.
emergency.
She wasn't able to get back here.
She was traveling, and she didn't get back in time,
Yeah,
He couldn't be here too.
okay?
as well.
So, on all of these, we can open them. We can't take any action on it. We can take I cannot take any really substantial information, because that 6th member has to be here for the information, okay? So, we're sort of, you might say the traffic got us today.
Is someone,
Yeah, traffic.
pardon me? Someone abstaining from participating?
No, we have
Just
one
people are
person
nice.
One
stuck
had a
in
family
the airport.
emergency.
Right,
Yeah,
but you
we
have
do.
5.
We need 6.
Need 6.
No, you need 5 by John.
But I don't qualify.
He doesn't
Okay, so
qualify.
that's,
I'm not abstaining,
just
but
kidding.
yeah.
That's our issue.
Yeah, because when you first started this
He
hearing,
wasn't here.
I was out.
Yeah.
So I missed
So he's not.
the first hearing on this.
He missed the first few.
Yeah, so I can't, I missed 2 of them, I guess. So what happened was I can't qualify
So we
to,
have to reschedule.
I can participate, and I can run the meeting, and I can voice my opinion and all the rest of that, but I can't vote on
Can't
it.
vote unless there's a tie anyway.
Right.
So
So,
Can't even about that.
so is it not likely that either of the 2 members will be here tonight?
No.
I called Patrick, and
Carol's stuck in the air somewhere. She's on
Carol
a
had a
plane.
family emergency, and
Right.
she's stuck out of town.
yeah, Karen's she's on a plane that didn't make it.
Yeah,
You're supposed to be here.
and that was only as of 5:45 tonight when she called me.
Yeah.
I would have told you earlier, but I was on my way here, and I got this.
We didn't know, none of us knew. I got a call at 5:46.
Yeah. So,
You need a supermajority.
I understand that.
sorry about that, folks. I mean,
So we
yeah.
reschedule for August.
Can we take any information tonight?
No, really.
no, without Carol.
Yeah.
We can give them information. We've
Right.
got let's put it this way, the information we got, the peer review, okay, you got that?
On the stormwater?
Yeah.
Yes, we
And then, the Conservation Commission, okay, and then, of course, we got all that,
And he's responded to it, so I
and then you responded to those, okay?
think that's resolved.
So most of that will be cleaned up, and you respond to it, and we'll have all the answers, for the next meeting. But,
Would the board be amenable to a special meeting? I mean, otherwise we'd have to wait another month, right?
well, see, that's our problem. We'd have to get the other members together and see if we can put something together. Typically in July, because things are so slow, in the summer, usually we only have 1 meeting. We could check and see,
Do you
without
want
the other 2
me
members.
to check with Carol?
I check if we can get one in before the next meeting, just for this.
I have no problem.
I could check with
I have
Carol.
no problem with that either.
It's not their
Just, we
fault.
gotta
We
just
can
make
only
sure
try, but if you're
the
willing
dates
to-
are
Yeah,
right.
it's not our fault, it's not.
No,
Certainly not your fault.
Yeah, we're making a lot of
there's no
steps.
blame here, it's just.
I think,
Yeah, we're not trying to delay it.
No, I understand.
It's just circumstances and state laws and regulations that
So I'm just asking if it's
that
possible.
we have to abide by.
If it went in.
And if we had any more questions, we can't even ask them now.
I understand that.
Go like to next Monday, or you'll be able
Do you want to try for next Monday?
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah,
This Monday.
If you can do it.
we don't even have to wait 2 weeks. We just
That
do
would
it.
be.
No, it's all been advertised.
Next
so-
Monday will be
That's
probably
what
better.
we're It'll give us a chance, we just got the reports too,
Next Monday.
from the engineering review. We just got
Next Monday,
those.
good.
But you gotta find out from Patrick and
So there are
Yeah.
at least 5 of us.
Well, we need,
And hopefully Pat or.
right,
It's a day.
Carol.
I'm asking her now.
I think it's 22nd.
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 Yeah, I'm okay.
Because I do have a couple of questions, and I want to make it fair.
July 22nd.
6:30.
Okay, I sent her a message.
And then we gotta figure out where
Well, I'm sure.
What about Pat?
We can let him know.
Pat's on Pat, on vacation this week?
Oh, we only need one.
Chop block.
Right here.
I'll text you also.
We'll need to confirm that by Wednesday for the open meeting law. So we have to-
Childcare situation.
You have to advertise it?
What?
No, she's not going to advertise.
No, we don't advertise, we just have to,
Meeting by Wednesday for the open meeting law, so we'd have to-
Well, people want to know tonight if we can, right?
Ideally.
well, not
Unless she's on the
ideally, but I
line.
don't think that's gonna happen
Yeah.
tonight, so what we can do
Let you
is,
know
In the
tomorrow.
next
Plan on-
day or
yeah,
two.
that's
we can make a
Man, as soon as you're here,
tentative,
we'll call.
Because you guys
make a
only have
tentative
children,
schedule,
right?
from, we can vote a tentative meeting, special meeting for next Monday.
Yeah.
August 22nd at 6:30.
July.
July 22nd.
July, I'm sorry.
That's later
I
than the next meeting.
apologize. I'm ahead of myself.
It's enough.
July 22nd.
Carol said yes.
Okay.
Cool. So you're good.
Okay.
So next month.
So,
Sorry,
At
guys.
6:30.
Thank you.
Do you want to take a vote on
we know
that?
what this.
Yeah, we have to vote on
Thanks for
that.
accommodating.
I make a motion.
Well, we
Yeah,
can take
change.
one at a time, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
okay. Motion is in order for a continued open public meeting for site plan approval for 9 Washington Street, continued to July 22nd at 6:30.
So moved.
Second.
And you'll be the only ones on that night.
Motion made by Tom, seconded by Fred. Any further discussion? Here none, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Means everybody here tonight is gonna be here next week.
Continued public hearing for special permit approval for 449 Washington Street for use,
So moved.
July 22nd at 6:31.
Second.
Okay, that's, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. 702, proposed continued public hearing, special permit approval, 449 Wachusett Street for Water Supply Protection District. Motion for July 22nd at 6:32.
So be.
Moved by Tom, second by Sal. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. So we've scheduled it for next Monday.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
The only thing we have
only
to do
thing
is
on the
confirm the
docket.
location of the meeting, because this room may be booked by another group. So I'll reach out to you this week and we'll let you know. It might be at the library.
We'll go
Right, could be
wherever,
the
we'll go wherever until you tell us it is.
Sometimes
So
you go
I have to
library,
dig
but
around
nobody
tomorrow
can
and
talk.
figure out
It's
where
gotta
we
be
can
quiet
go.
over there.
It'll be at sales.
Anybody?
You can have it at my house.
It's just Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
All right, well, thank you.
Commission with these, so.
You can have it at the golf course, right?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Sorry.
Okay, regular meeting called to order.
Patrick Perla. Excused. Fred Fredericks.
Here.
Paul Weiser.
Here.
Salvatore Ciccone.
Here.
John Souza.
Yep.
Carol Vittorioso. Excused. Thomas Carden.
Here.
Minutes.
Make a motion to accept the June 3rd meeting.
Motion by Fred, seconded. Have a second on the minutes?
Second.
Second by Paul. To accept the minutes of June 3rd, as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carried. Okay.
Motion to accept
so I'm glad to see that.
Second.
I just have one comment. I'm glad to see.
Motion made and seconded for June 17th,
I
2019.
revised it already and passed it out.
Okay. No,
Yeah, you were here.
There's one of them? I see that. Says I was absent.
On the 17th?
Oh, you were on that one, you were absent. On
June
That's
3rd,
On the 3rd you were.
the 3rd, you were, the 17th.
17th, you were here.
17th you
Yeah,
had.
yes. 3rd, were you in Scotland?
Scotland.
There you go.
So soon you forget.
He drank what he had left of memory.
Sound like a pirate just then.
Okay.
All right. Continue.
Motion to accept the minutes from June 17th. Any additions, deletions?
No.
Okay, my friend Paul, all in favor say aye. All say no, motion carries. Plan submitted, nothing?
Yay.
Continued definitive subdivision of Meadowlands at Willard. Again, been continued. 4.2 has been continued.
Is that 8/19? 8/19.
Okay,
This is
Wachusett Street,
7/22, yeah.
okay, they've all been continued.
Can we vote on this car wash?
Yeah, because it's on.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
It's just a
absolutely.
regular place.
That's right.
New business, site plan approved for 280 New Lancaster Road,
Yeah, no.
okay? Site plan approval on that, do we have any conditions?
Do we have any,
We have waivers,
We have waivers, okay.
waiver requests.
What's that?
They're on the memo.
one was the tree.
The trees and not.
Trees, the-
Section
Just
22-58.9,
And not
22
from the land.
dash 63 2.1 regarding a traffic study.
Right.
And at that island, put a sign up or something.
Yeah, that's not a waiver.
No,
Let's go to the waiver
that's-
first.
Same thing.
So we're gonna vote on the waivers. So the first waiver is on the
Traffic study.
the traffic study. So,
To approve that waiver.
motion is in order to accept the waiver on the traffic study.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Second waiver was on landscape architect.
Yes.
I move to.
Okay.
I make a motion.
Motion by Tom, seconded by Fred, to take and accept a waiver on no landscape architect required. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Any new conditions?
There's another waiver on the
Oh.
bicycle rack.
Bicycle
Sections
racks?
20, yes. They're required to have a bicycle rack and they're asking for a waiver on that.
Oh, it's in the new sub.
Section
Maybe they
22.
want to watch the bikes.
Who's riding the bike out there? Nobody.
But that was,
It's in the,
I
it's
make
in
a
the
motion
rack.
to give them a waiver on a
was that
bicycle.
waiver part of the original approval?
I'm not sure.
And it might not have been a condition at that point in time either, because that was under
That's a new one.
different regulations.
I move to accept that.
Yeah, let's just,
I get it. Motion
Yeah.
made and seconded, made by Tom, seconded by Paul, to accept the waiver on no bicycle rack. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. What?
You didn't ask if, you want to just pass this with those waivers, or we just?
We're just
No, we just do waivers.
Okay,
We
yeah,
just do
yeah,
waivers.
Yeah, got it.
But he wants to run the show, too.
No, I just want to make sure I know where I am
Might go quick.
on the waivers.
Okay, do we have any other
Too quick
waivers?
for him. He's usually slower than this.
No more waivers.
So those are all the waivers?
That's all the waivers.
All right.
Do we have any conditions?
Yes.
Yes.
The conditions is, that I understand, was there'd be new signage for striping, okay, and
Repaint the.
sign to tell people not to block that intersection.
And no
They
parking.
probably should all be, striped to
The
show
lanes should
that,
be striped
And no parking.
and marked.
that block. Please do not, block the square,
Not
because
that they're
that's,
gonna listen to that one, but
And then
the three
I know-
lanes should all be striped lanes to wherever they're going. The drive-through should be repainted. There should be a maintenance thing in effect that you repaint them and revisit it every so often. I'd say every 3 years, because the other one's already worn off. So maybe every 3 years, you repaint.
13.
And no parking on the main roads.
You know,
What's that?
No parking trucks.
no parking
Yeah, well,
signs.
okay, let's take these as individual,
Yeah, yeah,
individual items. So the first one is to restripe and to no
Repaint.
blocking the intersection.
Well,
Okay.
striping also means.
Okay, the
denoting-
second issue would be the new restriping within the lot.
Yep,
Okay, for everything.
and mark the lanes.
Again, marking, the third one was
No parking.
No parking.
no parking
The main drag.
on the main drag, on that.
Where that
side.
semi was.
Where that
configured
semi
on
was
the-
parked.
on the-
Okay,
Also remark the snow storage that was marked originally on the original plan for the area you're gonna put the car wash. Because I think that was on the original plan, that was denoted as snow storage. So I know you have plenty, but let's make sure we have it marked on the plan.
okay.
Just put it on the plan.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can put it way in the back, wherever you wanna put it, but,
I
you know,
think he said it.
that's what we used to
Plenty of
push it.
room out back.
There's plenty of
Are there any other conditions?
You want a limited point parking to those back areas, I mean, I don't.
Well, that's up to them, they can do that. When they stripe it, they won't be able to park there anyway.
How about, were there any department head comments on any of those changes?
I get to pull it up.
I didn't see any.
I had my memo dated July 2nd, my director's report. You went over most of those comments already, Travis.
No traffic.
I asked for more detailed lighting.
Do we have that already, Elizabeth?
No, we don't have it.
Okay.
Main road? Sure.
It was difficult to read, so.
It was probably just, I just blew this up. It shows the, like on the full size, that's how it should print out, but I don't know why it didn't print out that way. That's what you're talking about, right, the lighting?
Yeah, it's hard to read.
Mhm.
Does it show where it's directed toward and how many?
Again, it's the previously approved, we're not adding any lighting,
Right.
so it's what was approved back in 2013.
Right.
There's no
I'll let the
spillover
board
at
decide.
property lines.
Okay. Well, we're gonna include any department head comment as it needs to be addressed prior to the
Yeah.
approval. Well, we're gonna approve based on those conditions. So the department head conditions,
We're none.
No,
Done.
all
No
set.
comments.
we're all set.
Yep.
Was there a maintenance plan?
The maintenance plan for the striping.
Yeah.
So we keep that covered. I don't, 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah,
I think 3 years.
5 years.
You guys should police that on your own anyway. It gets to be a mess there.
They have a program for
Yeah.
asphalt sealant, striping.
And it's the lines too, because
Right.
if
They
you
get one
sit
out.
there for a little while and you watch that traffic come out of McDonald's, it's a nightmare, and it goes right to what John was saying. You always get somebody that's gonna try to take that left turn and block all 3 lanes. Not your 3 lanes, block getting in there, taking a turn there, or coming out of somewhere. I mean, that intersection's a little bit rough, so anything we can do to make that better, because it's better for you too,
Sure.
Okay,
Okay, let's vote.
do anything else? Okay, a motion is in order to accept
Motion to accept with new conditions,
with, well,
Site
With the
plan.
waivers
Site-
and-
with waivers
with
and
waivers
and
and
conditions.
conditions.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Thanks, guys.
And then 5.2, special permit approval for 280 Lancaster Road, map 30, lot 1 for use, a car wash. Okay, and this is just for use, the only one's on the site itself. So we don't have a problem, no conditions on the use. Hours, everything else.
Second.
So motion by Tom, seconded by Fred, to accept the use. Any further discussion? Here none, a call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good luck, guys.
Clean paint.
environmental notification form, here now for the Twin Cities Rail Trail, Fitchburg and Leominster.
Yeah. Is that in the car?
It's in here somewhere.
No, it's in the card. It's it's
on the
pretty
card.
lengthy and it's in color. So I didn't know, we scanned it in and emailed it out to you,
Yes.
Oh,
so that you could look at it before the meeting.
Yeah, sorry, I'm doing
It's rather, yeah,
Yeah,
it's lengthy.
There's nothing here, it's just to let us know what they're doing.
Yeah, there's nothing in there. You can say. It was long.
Email?
Yeah.
Or the stuff here.
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff here, but I
So-
We can continue it to the next meeting.
There's no action here, right? It's just.
We can make a motion to continue this to the next meeting.
Continue on, it's just.
Continue on.
It just,
It's the old rail trail.
communication.
Goes from where? Where's it starting? It's starting,
We've received communication, that's what others.
If they have any comments, none of us have been.
it's starting Leominster and going into Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
So we got,
Does it start around Cluster Green?
I thought it started earlier than that
No,
Carter Park area.
Yes, actually,
No,
it's,
the railroad is, so downtown maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's right behind Schofield.
Yeah, yeah. The old train station.
So it's gonna run from Schofield all the way out, and then out the railroad tracks all the way to Bemis.
Cluster Green.
Yeah, all the way out to Bemis Road,
Right, and it's gonna stop there?
right now, yeah.
Well,
I think-
he stopped earlier. but,
I think that's,
Apartments on that side.
I think that's where it goes, I'd have to look at that.
So that'd be a few inverters. That are
They don't have an overall,
Anybody has comments, send them as a bit, but otherwise, it's
Yeah.
move on.
Yep.
Do you want another week to give comments? You can provide them by the 22nd.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of comments are we making on that?
It's not, we have any jurisdiction.
I know, what can we have for comments? Don't do it, or stop it here, or,
No.
hey, I don't like,
It's just
I
information.
don't want it, it's just
We got
information.
information, let's move on to the next.
I agree.
Who's funding?
Probably state,
State?
state,
yeah.
Not the city. All right.
no city money in here, or grants,
Well, there's some grants,
some grants, but federal grants?
Since 22.
yeah, they all the bicycles down, just like,
Yep.
like the car wash, you're gonna have bicycles,
Bike rack
bike racks.
on 117.
Okay,
All right, we done?
6
No, there's two more communications.
6.2.
excuse me,
This one, we actually have to do something.
This
the
is an
Summit
email.
Estates, Liggett Hill.
There's
I have a question about this. I tried to go in there today. You wanna read the letter to him? You get that letter?
It's dated June 27th.
You got it.
I don't have a voice today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else
James
would read it.
Exaris wanted to keep you and the board informed of the construction of Summit Estates. Mr. Exaris originally started construction of Summit Estates several years ago, but the project was put on hold due to the Crown Point subdivision. However, now that the Crown Point approvals are no longer valid, the Summit Estates has been reinstated for completion.
Reinitiated,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
Mr. Exaris wanted to notify you on the board that Summit Estates is now going to be completed as originally designed and approved by the board. Additionally, our discussions with the DPW, all water sewer clearance plans, which were previously submitted and paid in full, are still valid in order to obtain building permits on the lots of Summit Estates. Also, there is no bond on the proposed roadway, as it was started several years ago, and this office assumes that a bond would be required for the completion of the roadway. As of the date, sewer, water, and drainage has been installed on the roadway, with the remainder of the roadway completion assumed with inspections from the DPW. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact this office, Kent Oldfield, Wing of Engineering.
Okay, I've got some questions on this. Number one is, I tried to drive in there today. I couldn't find, number one, if I was on the road, it was wrong. It's totally blocked up. You can't, I couldn't get
No,
back
no
there.
egress.
No egress.
And water and sewer's already in there.
Huh?
And water and sewer's
Well, he's saying the water and
Well,
sewage,
the pipes
okay?
are in there, yeah.
There's some work was done.
Yeah.
I would like to have some history on this. is,
Well, when was the,
I don't know.
we approved the plan so long ago, how many years did he have to act on the approval?
Well, he did start it,
He started, right.
but he hasn't done, and my problem is he done significant work on it. And I really want a detailed study, if I can, on when it was approved, because that's what we don't know. And if there's a state law that says even though a project has started,
Is it,
it's substantial, because it's been about 10 to 15 years that this land, I mean, the trees are big, okay? And, is there, even though we started it, you got some road work done, we don't know how much road work done. Was it even approved? Where are the plans? So I'd like to
So
see.
like a real status
I mean,
check,
huh?
status check.
Yeah, was it inspected even?
Plus, how long was the permit good for the
Yeah.
building, I mean, if we approved it and he did.
It doesn't go forever, and the
Yeah.
thing is, what's kind of interesting, it says no bond. Well, we don't put a bond, but there should be a covenant on all the land. And why wasn't the deeds issued, and why don't we have a covenant?
Well, because he didn't complete it.
And we now.
No, the covenant is supposed to go on the land before you start the road.
Right.
Well, they're telling you that they're assuming that they have to put up a bond.
Not the bond. The covenant is that you own the deed. You don't put a bond on until all the roadway is done, all the surge is in, then you say, okay, if there's 10 lots, I'll release 5 lots, and then you can start construction. Then when you get to the end, you get the last 2, then you have a bond on the last 2 or 3 lots, because the value of the lots may not be to the total value of the work required to be done. So then we put an actual dollar value on. So things don't add up here, that there isn't a covenant, that there should be a covenant on that property. When did it start, and did it lapse? I know in a regular subdivision, if you don't act on it in 7 years, it lapses. Well, this is a lot more than 7 years, but he did do some work. But to what extent, and what does that
Was it
allow him?
adequate?
What's that?
Was it adequate? Was
I
it
don't know.
substantial?
Yeah.
I can't even,
No,
You're
it's
asking
correct.
that question.
Yeah.
Correct.
but that's the question. And I couldn't drive in there today to even look at it.
And we have a lot of things today we didn't know about.
I can ask.
We just want to know how long it was valid for, and if he's done enough work to make it continue to be active. Let's say he hasn't done anything in 8 years.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
been
And, well, I'm just using an
Yeah.
example, and 7 years is the drop dead date. Well, then
Yeah.
he's off his time stamp. So we don't even know what that is right now.
So just check up on it and
Yeah.
see what was required and
Yeah.
see if you met that requirement.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, because the letters
How
assuming
many
things.
homes, that was quite a few homes up there.
Do you
Oh,
want
yeah.
this?
Because
Wasn't it?
that all went away.
70.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
She can let
300
us know
altogether.
what next Monday's be.
What's that?
Maybe she can let us know. But
Yeah, if you can have it for next week.
For this 22nd?
Well,
if just
It
not,
all depends, to see how it fits.
See what I find out for
Yeah, see what you find out.
Just get
if not,
Because that road
then
went,
in August.
that whole subdivision all went down, all the way down to Route 12.
yeah,
We shouldn't schedule anything else for next week.
no, don't schedule anything else for next Monday.
No,
Next Monday is,
just get info.
or even the info, because
We didn't get anybody else.
let's push that to August or September if we have to.
Okay,
Elizabeth, I know you did a couple studies on acreage for us.
I did, and it was in your packet that
I
you
know it,
weren't there.
No, I read it. I
You
did
got it.
read it, and I'm trying to recall.
I
We
have the
did
file.
Whitney Field, right? And what was
But we
the other
can't
one
talk
we did?
about, we
No,
can't
no.
talk about that because that case is,
Right.
but
I'm
I
just
can pull
saying-
it for you and give it to you again.
Yeah, I probably have the packet in my truck. But yeah, if you can pull that for us again. And what was the other one I just wanted to ask for? Oh, the old landfill. That wasn't part of it, right? What the,
You asked about
it
2
was-
properties.
It was Doyle Field and it was Whitney Field.
Yeah.
All Whitney Field. Those were the 2 that you gave us. I'm just curious about the old landfill site.
Acreage of the old landfill?
Yeah, that should be pretty easy to pull.
Okay,
6.3.
Because that would be
6.3.
good for discussion next Monday night as well.
275 New Lancaster Road site plan for continued approval follow-up.
We took care of that, right?
There's an email dated June
Oh, right,
25th.
right.
They're gonna change the time.
In your packet.
Which is good.
Yep.
That's it. And thank them for the communication. No action required.
Director's report.
Yeah, I got a report on each case. You got a separate report on each case.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nothing
we got
else.
that.
I was out last week.
Yep, perfect.
Good for you.
You were
So
good.
I'm catching up this week.
No executive session, so,
Was it a good vacation?
Sal?
It was good to see my dad. Yeah, I got to see my dad.
Good for
He
you.
turned 80.
Turn out, oh, he's an old guy.
He's just, John just turned
And his 80th birthday. It's a big deal.
Motion. It is.
I got another.
Motion to adjourn.
I got 511.
No, I just didn't want it to, I think that's.
Okay.
80 years old, it's great.
Second. Right.
Second.
Motion by Sal, seconded by Tom to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.